Hi, I'm George.
And I'm Portia, and we are Rainbow Life. Welcome to Focus on Surrogacy, a series where we react to surrogacy stories in entertainment, the news, documentaries, and more.
The majority of surrogacy journeys go well, but unfortunately, the ones most of us hear about are because they didn't go so well. So prepare yourself for some eye-rolling, laughing, and touching moments too.
If you have a story you'd like us to react to, leave a comment or send us a message. And if you happen to be watching this on YouTube and like what you see, you know what to do. For our first set of reaction videos, we chose perhaps the most well-known surrogacy plotline in entertainment, when Phoebe from Friends becomes a surrogate for her family. The plotline spans several episodes of Friends, so it's going to take several of our own episodes of Focus on Surrogacy to cover. But it's a good one with lots of opportunity for commentary, so make sure you watch all parts and enjoy. This episode is called The One With The Embryos and is the episode for Phoebe's surrogacy plotline where she actually goes through with the embryo transfer and then later finds out if it was or was not successful.
All right, I'm going to go to the fertility doctor and see if I'm ready to have Frank and Alice's embryo transferred into my uterus.
Okay, so sounds like she's having a lining check. Like she's been on medications for a week or two. And you have to make sure that your endometrial lining is of a certain thickness and is trilaminar and all these things. So it sounds like that's what she's doing.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't know, but that's what normally happens.
Yes.
Now, how will they know if you're ready?
Oh, they're just going to look and see if my endometrial layer is thick.
That's accurate.
Check that for you.
That's weird.
No, don't do that.
Hey, everyone, think thick.
That's inappropriate.
Think thick. I mean,
Wish me luck. Oh.
you know, in the surrogacy groups,
Think
you know,
thick, is that
people,
what you
well, they don't say think thick, but like there are encouraging
Actually, never heard that one before.
There are encouraging phrases like sticky thoughts for embryo transfer
Those I know.
and sticky and like
Well, that's for
baby
transfer.
dust, baby dust and stuff like that. So like,
But they have
so
sayings
this is,
for...
I mean, not that one, not that
Okay.
exact one, but I'm just like kind of impressed that she did say something like that.
Yeah, that was...
So,
She said it very clearly.
yes, and this was all
I told you she has
accurate.
moments of clarity.
Yes, or the writers do. Yes.
Well, her character has moments of clarity.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Looks like your uterus is ready for implantation.
Oh, I knew it. I felt really thick this morning.
So I'll just talk about terminology a little bit.
Yeah.
So implantation is what we hope happens. So what she actually should probably say is that your uterus is ideal for transfer. Because even if it is ideal, it doesn't mean that implantation will occur.
Right.
So,
Right.
we, again, in the surrogacy Facebook groups, there are people who will correct you on that. Like,
Of course.
like, I'm going for implantation tomorrow. Well, you're going for transfer. Also, it's really funny to see this ultrasound machine. It looks so old. I don't know if that was like real.
T-
Remember, it's
period
prop.
for the time?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it
I
was.
didn't have an ultrasound until the 2010s. So
Was it 90s?
yes, this is like
Or
90.
90? When was it?
They started in 94.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
it was
so this is mid to late 90s.
mid to late.
Yeah.
I can't say I've had an ultrasound, so I don't remember.
Well, okay, so what's now? Go get the eggs. Put them in there.
The eggs,
Eggs.
not the eggs,
No.
the embryos.
Take just a little while to prepare the embryos.
Embryos.
Good word.
As in more than one?
5, actually.
Wait a minute. Wait.
I had to pause.
Yeah, maybe you paused too early. Did
All right,
she
well-
mean they have 5
Right.
available?
Right. But I mean, we're gonna find out.
Yeah.
But like, she's saying you need time to prepare the embryos. Like, I guess she means thaw the frozen embryos.
Maybe.
Because you need to do that. Like, there's a certain number of hours before the scheduled time that you have to do that.
Because the other way is fresh transfer.
Right.
Which,
That's not happening here.
well, we don't know for sure. Because we didn't see the process
Yeah.
Of-
Before.
of retrieving eggs, fertilization. They didn't go over any
But
of that.
that's true. They didn't.
Maybe we'll find out a little more details.
Maybe. But I'm a little scared by hearing 5.
Yes.
So-
No, you don't transfer
Let's-
5 embryos.
No. Let's see what happens and we can discuss that.
5. Okay, where am I giving birth? In a hospital or a big box under the stairs?
You do
Good
5
alarm.
because that gives you a 25% chance that at least one will attach.
That's
Okay.
it? 25%?
I don't know if that's correct for the period, because again,
Well, so yeah, like technology's gotten better now.
yes.
So actually, that's a good point because now it would be very unethical to
Yes.
transfer 5.
Yes.
Even people undergoing their own IVF, like for their own biological pregnancies, the max I've ever seen is 3.
Right. Lately?
Yeah, for older women
Maybe,
with
yeah.
low quality embryos,
Right.
that's the most I've ever seen. And in the surrogacy world, a double embryo transfer does happen, but we generally discourage it because it can
And-
result in multiples.
Rainbow Life Agency only accepts people who understand that they're going to do a single embryo transfer.
Right, an SCT or set.
Yes.
Right. So
Doesn't mean you can't have twins,
correct. Yeah, any
but
any
the intention
can
is
split.
to have a single embryo transfer.
Right. So even with the best situation in place, high quality embryos, perfect looking uterus, right now the chances of any one embryo implanting is like 50 to 60%. So I don't know. This is crazy.
Why would they not be authentic with that fact? Or maybe they didn't do the research.
Well,
I don't know.
I think we're going to find out how many stick,
Right.
and that's part of the storyline, perhaps.
Right.
So
But yeah, I'm alarmed too. 5 is a lot.
that never should have been done.
No.
So
That means that it's like 75% chance of no baby at all?
Yeah, I was thinking, what are the odds like if like you stuffed like 200 of them in there?
Sweetie.
can we say octomom? Anyway, moving on.
That would be, I don't know that number in Latin or Greek.
Right.
200, did you say?
Bicentennial.
Bicentennium, yes.
No, she's a woman, not a gumball machine.
Okay, well, you know what? Don't worry, you guys, because I'm going to do this as many times as it takes to get it right. So.
Well, see, the thing is, we kind of only have one shot.
It costs $16,000 each time you do this.
Is a true fact.
Kind of using all the money we have to do it just this one time.
So yeah, that is really interesting.
Your face there.
Yeah, that's a good point. Each transfer costs money.
Yeah.
So sometimes people do want, or I guess the intended parents do want to transfer 2 instead of 1 because of the savings, or the potential savings.
Right.
And they want twins because they know they want 2 kids, and it's potentially less expensive to have twins rather than 2 single children.
Right.
If you have complications because it's a multiple pregnancy,
Right.
you are going to spend more money on that. So this is a lot of pressure on Phoebe.
Yeah. But I don't know if she's being genuine when she's saying, I'm doing this and no matter what, and we're going to get...
I think so. But I don't think...
Like, not genuine, but not thinking through it. Maybe.
Right. Well, I was just about to say, I think they're being genuine, but they're not fully informed on all the risks. Yeah. No one is informing Phoebe on these risks.
Yeah, I feel that she's kind of just rolling the dice.
I mean, quintuplets.
Yeah.
Or more. No thanks.
You're right. Split.
Shall we continue?
Oops. Whoa! That's a lot of pressure on me and my uterus.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there's something that I can do, just to like help make sure I get pregnant.
No, I'm sorry.
Wow, you guys really don't know anything.
I don't really like that doctor's bedside manner, but yeah, the only...
Well, that started with the whole 5 comment, I think.
Well, yeah, there's that for sure. But really, as a surrogate, all you can do to ensure the best chances of success is to follow the doctor's orders. Take your medications when you're supposed to, how you're supposed to.
Prenatal.
Yeah, everything that they put on your medication calendar. So they haven't just, gone into that here.
Did they believe in Bedrest back then?
Back then, I don't know. Like my first surrogacy, I was told Bedrest for the remainder of that day. Okay. And my second the first transfer failed, and the second transfer was a success. And I did Bedrest both times just for the day.
Right.
And then my second surrogacy, the doctor said as soon as it was a woman, as soon as the Valium wears off. Now I had Valium for that one. I didn't for the first one. As soon as it wears off, go for a walk.
More of a Valium issue.
Oh yeah, but it was go for a walk.
Right. Yeah.
Get the blood flowing.
Yeah.
So there are doctors who order bed rest for a day or 3.
For certain reasons, maybe. But I think the general consensus is bed rest not important.
I think scientifically that's the consensus. Yeah. And some people say blood flow, getting the blood flowing is important.
Yeah.
So that second surrogacy, the first transfer attempt was a success.
Right.
I mean, this is all anecdotal.
Yeah.
But
as far as doctor's advice, I think more cases it's, you don't need to lay down for.
I'm seeing more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it's medication related. Like
Right. Right. And the Valium wore off in like less than an hour.
Oh, okay.
But the point being, there are a lot of kind of like old wives' tales about what you can do to make these things successful, but none of them are scientifically backed. If it makes you feel better,
Like
if the intended
certain kind
parents,
of socks, eating fries,
or
that
stuff
kind of
like exactly, and if the intended parents, want you to do it, it's not going to hurt.
No.
So you can do it if it makes you feel better,
Right.
and it's like drinking
It's
palm
fun.
juice, eating French fries, keeping your feet warm,
Really?
which is the socks thing.
Oh.
Yep.
I didn't know the reason behind it.
None of it is scientific. I didn't do any of that stuff.
Pineapples?
Pineapple core?
Something like that?
Yeah.
I've seen pineapples a lot.
Well, pineapple is also a symbol for fertility.
Fertility, yeah.
As long as it's upright. Upside down pineapple, we're not going to get into.
Uh-oh.
So.
I know. Why don't you get drunk? That worked for a bunch of girls in my high school.
No, don't drink the alcohol.
Hello, teeny embryos.
Okay, Phoebe's talking to the embryo.
Phoebe Buffet. Hi. I'm hoping to be your uterus for the next 9 months. You should know that we're doing this for Frank and Alice, who you've been there.
Intention? No, they haven't met them yet.
They want you so much. So when you guys get in there, really grab on.
So, this is very unrealistic.
Yeah, medically not.
Yeah, so when you go in for a transfer, you'll have had a lot of water to drink to make your bladder reasonably full.
Right.
And this
Pressure
is so because when your bladder starts getting full, it brings your uterus towards the front of your body, and it's easier to see the uterus on the ultrasound, which they use to guide the catheter through your cervix to do the transfer. But you don't see the embryos.
No.
They are not in a petri dish at this
Never.
stage. And
Or maybe something.
I mean, I've never been in an embryology lab.
Right.
But at the clinic, there's the embryology department where these embryos are created by putting the egg and the sperm together in a petri dish, and they're frozen at a certain point of their growth.
They're put
Usually,
they're put in an incubator for 5-6 days.
yes, right. So like usually around 5 days, that's the most common, and then they're frozen.
Right.
And then they can be thawed almost whenever. I mean, recently there was like a 30-year-old frozen embryo that was successful. But at some point, once they're thawed, they are put into a catheter.
Correct.
And in my case, both times, I'm trying to remember, the room I was in, which is just like an examination room, had a window that led to another room, which was embryology. And this window, things could be passed through the window. So I saw the embryologist, the person, that doctor, through the window. And there was this like very like strict procedure that happened where they confirmed like 5 times that I was who I was.
Right.
And that I agreed to this process.
Right.
And then they confirmed like 5 times that the embryos belonged to who they belonged to, the bio father. And
that's interesting. I don't think we had that much confirmation.
Yeah. And then they checked that there was only 1 embryo in there and not more. And so then the embryologist passes that catheter to the reproductive endocrinologist who inserts that tiny catheter into the catheter that is already in me. This never happens. You don't see them.
Yeah, you don't have a chance to talk to them. Let's put it that way.
No. So
I'm sure that.
But I appreciate the scene.
Yes. It's
because of what's happening. Like, yeah.
It allows her to express her thoughts out loud so that we can hear them. Because otherwise, you know, it would be in your head. And that's not good for TV.
Well, of course.
Okay, and I promise that I'll keep you safe and warm until, you know, you're ready to have them take you home. So. Oh, and also, next time you see me, if I'm screaming, don't worry, that's what's supposed to happen.
Ready?
Uh-huh. Good luck. Hey.
Hey, oh, Phoebes, are they in there?
Yeah, I'm implanted.
How do you feel?
Transferred.
Freaked. Because it turns out the odds are, like, really sucky. And this is Frank and Alice's, like, only shot. I mean, they are, like, literally putting all their eggs in my basket.
It's a
So to
funny
speak.
analogy.
Works.
Really? How much?
All right, I'm gonna go take a pregnancy test right now.
Oh, wow. You can tell this soon?
Well, the doctor says it takes a couple days, but I mean, my body's always been a little faster than Western medicine, so.
So, George, I'm trying to figure out if this is the same day of the transfer or not. So she's wearing the same outfit that she was when she left the apartment and said she was going to get her lighting checked.
Oh.
But so timing, I really don't understand. But it is true that if you do a 5-day embryo transfer, which means that the embryo was frozen on day 5 of its development, that it's going to probably take 4 to 5 days at a minimum to get a positive pregnancy test. So I always tested 4.5 to 5 days after transfer.
My
And
rule
that's
is 7.
Okay, 7. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
everybody
5,
has
6,
their own
7.
number.
Sure. Because you could get a negative of 5 and that doesn't mean it didn't work.
Right. Or you can get a false positive.
That's more rare.
Right.
Yeah. But she's not going to get anything on day 1.
No. Definitely not.
The embryo has not implanted yet, and it's not until it has implanted that HCG, the
Right.
hormone,
The
starts
hormone
being created.
That is detected is detectable when the embryo attaches, and that causes a hormone reaction.
Yeah.
Well, nope, not knocked up yet.
Totally fine.
Wouldn't expect it.
It's time.
Yeah, all right. Meanwhile, I'm gonna do whatever I can to help this, so I'm just gonna, lie in your chair, okay?
So,
Not necessary.
not necessary, right? There's already an embryo. So, okay. So we're gonna get into like intercourse. So when people are trying to get pregnant naturally, like some women think this will help, and maybe
Right.
it does, but
I
they're
have
trying to
heard.
get the sperm to come
Right.
to the right spot.
Come hither.
Yes, and Phoebe doesn't have to worry about that. The sperm has done its job
Right.
and has met with an egg and created an embryo. So it's
5
in
days
her,
ago.
yeah, it's in her uterus. She doesn't need to do this, but funny, haha. So
Right. Well, I thought it had to do with like the Bedrest thing, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's a wives' tale from intercourse.
yes, from natural pregnancy.
Are you in there, little
She's
fetus?
still there.
In 9 months, will you come greet us?
It's such a cute little song.
It's a Phoebe thing.
Yes.
Buy you some Adidas.
They do make Adidas and infant size.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, hi. Phoebe. We were just at the drugstore, so we got you a little present.
Whoa.
The drugstore.
It's a lollipop and a home pregnancy test.
Hey, don't mix those up. You could really ruin that lollipop.
So, you feel like taking a test? There's only one question.
All right, I will. No,
She just took a test.
just remember that it's still really early.
Yeah. Yep.
It says that I'm not
See, she has moments of clarity.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
okay. And just please, just so I don't go completely nuts, just try not to put all your hopes on this, okay?
Okay.
This is very smart.
Was she wearing
Yeah.
the same clothes?
Yes, this is the same day.
Oh. Maybe they Forgot that part.
So listen, there is a point at which you're gonna have a test that's negative and then a test that's positive.
Right.
Right? I mean, that has to happen at some point.
Or if you
it was
do the
successful.
ones with the lines, it could be in between.
Yeah, oh, I just
could be
mean like just
very-
a faint line.
very
Like there's
faint.
gonna be one where you don't see it, and then there will be one where there will. And so like for that time to have occurred right now is like unrealistic.
Yeah. Well, I still don't know if like somebody made a wardrobe mistake and they didn't change their clothes.
Right, or
Maybe it
if this
supposed to be
is
the next day.
the
Or maybe
day of
she,
transfer.
Maybe she wore her clothes for a whole week.
Yeah, sure.
'Cause
know.
she didn't want to take them off. I don't know. So we're not sure how long the time
Yeah.
has passed.
Yeah.
You guys, you're gonna have a baby. They're gonna have a baby.
Yay! Unrealistic, but yay!
My sister's gonna have my baby!
Which sounds weird if somebody doesn't know.
Yep. That's for laughs.
Okay, but this can't be good for the baby.
Totally fine.
Yes. Hugging's fine.
So that's the last scene for this episode, for this particular storyline of Phoebe as a surrogate, the one with the embryos. And it does seem as if they transferred 5. It does seem as if she is pregnant. And I'm kind of nervous to see where this goes. How about you?
Well, being my first time, I don't think I saw this the first time. So, yes, I have lots of questions. I have lots of concerns. But it is entertaining.
Yeah. So we will see what happens next with the next episode.
See you in the next episode.